So if you've been paying attention to the Europa League, Ajax just gave Lyon an absolute hiding, 4-1. And it's kind of brought to light something that's been on the surface. I know people are out there saying, I've been watching the Dutch League week in, week out, brother. We know this has been happening.
Yeah, they also watch Hulk Hogan.
Yes, very
brother.
Apologies, I haven't been as focused on it, and I should be focused on one team in particular.
I know, but you're not a man of, you don't have 13 sets of eyeballs, Francis.
People think that. That's why when I do Champions League recaps, and people are like, why'd you talk so much more about the Real Madrid game and not this? I'm like, they're happening at the same time.
You know what was great?
I can't split.
You're doing the Real Madrid for the semifinal, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid game, and it's Tuesday, and I go, he didn't even talk about Monaco versus Juventus, and I go, that's because it's on Wednesday.
Yes, we're now down to where I can watch all of it because it's just one game. Ajax, this is a team who are so blessed with history. Fantastic timing, Irma, fantastic. Look at those accolades.
They have 33 Netherlands Football League championships, but also there's a note because played against Rangers and Celtic, and I saw this and I thought Francis get excited because it's a Super Cup, but also the European champions. I mean, the 90s aren't that long ago, Francis.
Yeah, so.
Yes, they are. They're very long ago.
Well, I want to read that bottom there. What does it say? Because Rangers were serving a one-year time imposed by default. That victory meant Ajax had won every tournament, 5 in total, they entered that year, a feat Celtic achieved in 1967, of course, when we won the European Cup.
Barcelona.
So look at some of these trophies, right? So they were dominant in the 70s when it came to the European Cup. Just phenomenal talent, blessed the team. And then they won it in 1994-95, a great testament. That was an era where most of a lot of English, Spanish, Italian teams are really emerging as dominant teams as well. European Cup Winners' Cup, which was a tournament that was still around at that point and eventually was discontinued. The UEFA Cup, now known as the Europa League, they've won that as well. But I wanted to talk you through something really quick, and I know a lot of people will be watching this and thinking, I'm glad you brought this up. Listen to some of these players that came through Ajax's youth academy, because it wasn't just that they were so good. They're so good at producing players. So as I mentioned, from 1970s era, Johan Cruyff, arguably considered the best European footballer to have ever lived, came through Ajax's academy. And then you go into the 80s, Marco van Basten, Dennis Bergkamp, Frank de Boer, Ronald de Boer, Frank Rijkaard, phenomenal players. Rijkaard, of course, the coach for Barcelona during that time. 1990s, Edgar Davids, Patrick Kluivert, arguably considered one of Barcelona's best ever strikers. Edwin van der Sar, arguably considered one of the best goalkeepers that ever played the game, played for Manchester United. Clarence Seedorf, Champions League winner at AC Milan. I'm just demonstrating my knowledge as well as theirs. And then you go into the 2000s. This is so interesting because this is an area where Ajax are not as dominant as a team, but they're still producing players that are doing great things in the world of football. Alderweireld, who is Tottenham's dominant centre-back, came through their system. He's from Belgium as well. Dele Blind plays at Manchester United, as you know. Nigel de Jong, a little bit more known for his harsh tackles or whatever. Wesley Sneijder, Thomas Vermaelen, Rafael van der Vaart, Jan Vertonghen, who also plays centre-back. This is why I think they have such a good partnership, Alderweireld and Vertonghen. And in 2010s, Christian Eriksen.
It's also Tottenham, right?
Tottenham. So it seems like Tottenham have got a good connection with them.
So they're good at doing that.
The Dutch style of football, which annoyingly doesn't resonate as much now with their national team because they've got some problems, but everyone wanted to try and tap into the Dutch market of those young players. Patrick Kluivert used to sing it from the rooftops. He's like, you need to be looking at the way that Ajax in particular produce young talent. They have them playing with the ball at the age of like 5 or 6. They have them doing fitness drills with the ball, never just running, always with the ball, always passing and moving. Almost like the tiki-taka is much of a testament to Barcelona style of football. A lot of these players in Ajax and coming through the ranks, that's what they were taught from the fundamentals. Always pass first, always look to use your teammates.
So who needs the Europa League hardware more?
This is where it comes to a more point of view. As far as if the Champions League was to choose, if you were to give a decision to UEFA, they want Manchester United winning it because they want Manchester United back in the Champions League. Because if you win the Europa League, you get automatically qualified in the Champions League.
All things aside, UEFA, marketing, budget, whatever it might be, who do you think needs it more? Does Ajax need the hardware to just remind people, hey, we have been forgotten about, even though we have literally closets full of trophies.
It's a good point. I think Ajax needs it more because they've been starved of more European recognized glory.
Ah, okay.
Because they'll still win Dutch leagues and they still compete and they've always got a great chance of winning it and they've still produced some good players. Luis Suarez had a great tenure when he played with Ajax.
Everywhere he goes.
He was a very good player there. But they need it to demonstrate that they can still do it on the biggest stage.
Right.
And I think if they win a Europa League, they'll get back into the Champions League. They'll probably get into the Champions League either way with the way they're performing in the Dutch league as well. Manchester United will make a counter-argument saying we need it, not just to win the trophy, because I think they'll like the trophy. I'm not saying they'll probably... They might go on a parade around Manchester, but it's like going around... It's like parading your new girlfriend when you already had like a smoke show 5-6 years ago and everyone knew how amazing she was. Like Manchester United have won 2 Champions Leagues in the past between 1998 and recent terms.
You've always said it's always nice to have some new shiny hardware.
Yeah.
And whether it be an FA Cup, I know a Champions League has more weight to it. I think both literally and figuratively, it's probably a heavier trophy.
Yeah, it's fun.
A Premier League title, like a Europa League title might not be what they are gunning towards, but it doesn't hurt to just win a tournament.
Well, yeah.
This is such a blanket statement. I don't know enough about Ajax. I didn't watch football during their dominance. I'm not sure if I was alive during it. I don't think I was. I know that UEFA, FIFA, doesn't matter, wants Manchester United more than Ajax. That's just business. But I would like to see Ajax return to Champions League football because I think that puts them on a bigger stage. And then people like Alderweireld before they left for a Tottenham would be more readily known. Yeah. And they've actually probably upped their price tags. Ajax probably gets more money and maybe can, if they're already turning over great talent still, or good talent still, that in return might build them not into a powerhouse, but competitive in European football.
The thing that's going to go against Ajax, sorry, I'll get to that in a minute. The point I wanted to reiterate is, Manchester United would like winning the trophy, but they like what the trophy means more than anything else. It means Champions League qualification because they're not guaranteed top 4. It's a tough task. Liverpool, Manchester City, those teams in their way. Winning a Champions League gets you automatic. Winning a Europa League gets you automatic qualification. That's why they would like the meaning of the trophy rather than the trophy itself. As for the Ajax, I'd love to see them start being able to attract more players to their league, but they're always going to be up against the fact that the Dutch league is not as well respected if you've got the opportunity to play in Premier League or La Liga or Serie A or even Bundesliga. Or even the French league. I think it's below that, I would say. It's lower in the ranks of that, and it's unfortunate. But players, because the league isn't as competitive as those, I don't think you can offer them as much money. Money talks, and I think that it's a tougher market to try and attract people to go in and advance their career, unless they started there, which is where players usually start in the Dutch league at Ajax and then go on to play another team. So to make yourself more of a dominant team to attract players and not be a feeder team, it's all their biggest marketing tool would be Champions League football, and that's what they need to attract people to play with. So if they win the Europa League, they're there. They're back in the Champions League. They're back straight into the group stages, and it would be an interesting thing to see. I would love to see Ajax return to the days where they were not just producing top quality to be passed on, but have some top quality players like the mid-1990s when they had just a great team that people were shit scared of. So, yep. Let us know what you think in the comments. Ajax, are they returning to more glorious times? And will that be helped by a Europa League win? Let's put it this way. They look comfortable at the moment, beating Lyon 4-1 whilst Manchester United struggling up against Celta Vigo, but nonetheless still emerge with a great chance of going through.
Yep.
Comments below. Francis M. Maxwell, Twitter, Instagram. Jason Rubin 91, Twitter, Instagram. We'll see you soon.